the 70s, after the Apollo landing mission, both countries began to search for what they had in common in space as opposed to what divided them. And the idea of developing compatible equipment that would allow spacecraft to rendezvous and to dock with each other in orbit became a subject that we wanted to pay attention to. And it was the subject of our first meeting with the Russian side on cooperation in manned spaceflight in October of 1970. I went with a delegation to Moscow, and it was an eye-opening, somewhat scary thing for me to do. I was about 33 years old at the time, and new to program management, absolutely new to any international diplomacy. So it was a real big learning experience for me, but it turned out to be one of the best learning experiences of my life, because I really did get to enjoy it. I learned a lot about Russians, I learned a lot about the people there, and frankly, just by having to do it, I learned a lot about America and things that we have in this country. I found myself in a position where I had to explain some of those things several times, and it makes you work at being sure you understand yourself before you try to explain yourself to somebody else. So it was quite a time, but out of that instinct that we should be doing more to cooperate together came the idea of these compatible systems for rendezvous and docking. And we didn't work on it very long before the idea of a test mission came about. We wanted a way to test the ideas that we were developing as engineers and to test them in flight and be sure that they really would work. And that was the background for what became the Apollo-Soyuz test project, ASTP is the acronym for it. And it was formalized in May of '72 when President Nixon and Premier Kosygin signed the agreement that we would indeed fly a mission in 1975 that would test the systems, would involve 2 cosmonauts in the Soyuz and 3 astronauts in the Apollo spacecraft. So it was an exciting time for us. Started with more questions than we could possibly have answers to in a short period of time, but it turned out to work rather well once we got our chance to work directly with Russian counterparts, and we especially accelerated our learning when we named on our side the American crew, and when on the Russian side they named the Russian crew. They provided tremendous input to our program planning, and they reminded us every day of our need to be sure that what we were doing was planned well and was planned to be very, very safe.
Сегодняшнее поколение людей на Земле не представляет вот то время, в котором мы оказались в 70-е годы.
First of all, the generation living today can't even imagine the atmosphere that had been in 1970s.
Холодная война была, пожалуй, в самом пике.
It was the peak of a Cold War.
И достаточно было маленькой провокации где-то, чтобы могла разразиться настоящая война.
And if a little provocative thing could happen anywhere, it could become a great, big, real war.
В это время нашлись настоящие патриоты, граждане Земли.
And in this period of time, the real patriots, the real citizens of the world, of the whole Earth, of the planet, have successfully appeared.
По звонку Никсона
It was a phone call from President Nixon.
решили обсудить эти сложные вопросы, связанные с международным положением.
After which it was decided to discuss these very difficult issues with regards to international situation.
И решили показать, что, несмотря на противоречивость в мире, есть возможность найти кооперацию, которая появилась ярким примером проявления дружбы на Земле.
And in spite of all those contradictions which took place these times, it was decided that there is a possibility to find a cooperation, the roots and the ways of cooperation between two countries.
У нас был лозунг «Кооперация – это дружба, а дружба – это мир».
We had a slogan that cooperation is friendship, and friendship brings us to peace.
Давайте найдем хороших пилотов,
It was decided to find great pilots,
создадим космические корабли,
to create spacecrafts,
пошлем этих пилотов в космос.
in order to send those pilots into the space,
Пусть они найдут друг друга,
in order to find each other,
полетают вместе.
to join the flight together.
И не буду говорить о научных экспериментах, которые мы проводили вместе, и по отдельности это было невозможно. Но самый главный эксперимент – это найти в космосе друг друга, состыковаться и работать вместе.
I don't want to touch the technical side of our work together, but the most interesting point of our test flight was to find each other in space, to dock and to work together.
Вот только один пример. Согласно программе, мы должны вести репортаж над Америкой, а наши друзья над Советским Союзом.
Just one of the examples, at the part of the program, we were supposed to report what is going on under the territory, above the territory of the United States, and our American friends has to report on TV and radio everywhere above the territory of the Soviet Union.
For example, program Good Morning America. Every morning I said, "Good morning, America. It is me. I am Russian cosmonaut Colonel of Air Force Alexey Leonov. Oh, I am above you, above America. I saw children. I saw yellow bus which go to school. It was true. Everybody, every American people, good morning, America, fantastic. Tom Stafford, every morning, good morning, Советский Союз. It is me, Tom Stafford, for Mark, for Mitch. I see your life, I see many people, I see your very big country. It was very big, very nice example of our good cooperation in space.